Hello everybody out there. So for today's video, it's going to be part 2 from the previous video I did talking about everything going on in Afghanistan. If you haven't watched that video, I don't know how to link stuff, but it'll be on my page or my channel or whatever. So I would ask that you watch that video as well. If you don't want to watch, you don't have to obviously, but I would ask that you watch it because I feel like it's very important to be watched. For people that are watched the first one, this is the video where I talk about Sharia law and everything that it ties back into with everything going on in the Middle East and in Afghanistan right now, and really my thought process on it as a whole. And it's stuff that I've thought for a long time, but the older that I've gotten, the more I have expanded my opinion and my thought process and the logic that I hold on to support the way that I feel. So I want to start off by saying that I love people. I really do. I know that a lot of people say this kind of shit and they don't really mean it, but I love people. I don't really care. I'm not going to say I really don't care. I really don't care. I really don't care about people's skin color. I don't care if you're black or white or brown or whatever color your skin is. I don't care if you're a man or woman or identify as something else. I don't care if you are straight or gay or some part of the LGBTQ plus community. I don't care where you were born or what your nationality is. I don't care what language you speak. I'm not saying I don't care as far as like it's not important. I'm saying that it doesn't affect the fact that I love people. I may not like everybody because there are people out there who are not inherently good people. There are evil people out there, people who do evil things. I don't like those people. But as a whole, aside from that percentage of the population, I love people. And what comes with that is realizing that there are people out there and beliefs out there that are not good and not wholesome. A good example of that is someone who's a racist or someone who's homophobic or shit like that. Those are inherently bad and evil belief systems that are wrong and aren't good and can't be supported by anybody. People do support them because they're shitty people, but at the end of the day, for the vast majority of people, the vast majority of thought processes and beliefs, I'm okay with it. Because at the end of the day, it's all about love. It's what it's supposed to be about. The issue that I have, and I know you're like, what does this all have to do with what I'm getting at? The issue that I have is that within the idea of traditional, holistic, Islamic beliefs and Sharia law, unfortunately, it doesn't fall into the bucket of being positive, wholesome ideas. And I'm not going to say, because it's not fair to say, that everyone that I know or everyone out there in the world who identifies as someone who follows Islam is a bad person or is a shitty person or is wrong. Because I believe in our society, there are a lot of people that are religious people, but they're very progressive. And so they don't believe in a lot of outdated, old-fashioned, or just shitty parts of the belief system. For example, he passed away unfortunately a while back, a friend who was brought up as a follower of Judaism. His family was also Jewish. He got older. He practiced it really, really faithfully when he was younger. He got older. He still, celebrated some of the traditions, still followed some of the customs and rituals, but there were certain things he just didn't do or didn't believe or didn't follow because he was more progressive with it, and that was who he was. And again, everybody do what you want to do. I think there's a lot of people in our modern society who follow Christianity or Catholicism, and it's much more progressive, where they follow a lot of the things, but not everything, because there are certain things they feel are outdated or antiquated or just things they don't want to do. And I feel like there's a lot of people that follow or believe in Islam that fall into the same bucket, that don't believe in a lot of, some of those same more outdated or not as positive rules or ideas. So I wanted to get that out of the way now, is that I'm not saying it's everybody, because it's not. That's not the reality, and anyone that tells you it is wrong. Now, what I am going to say is there are a lot of people out there who are automatically going to disagree with what I'm going to say in this video. But again, as you can tell from the other videos I've done, I really don't give a fuck. You're wrong. It's just the way that it is. It's not a conversation. It's not an argument. You're just wrong. What I'm about to say is logical facts and real shit. So When I talked about in the other video, I said some of the people that were trying to get on the plane, some of the people that were holding on to the plane, some people that are living in Afghanistan right now that are freaking out, that are worried about the Taliban and all this other crazy shit's going on, is because they don't want to live under Sharia law, because they don't want to live under those set of rules. And the reason being is that a lot of those rules are not beneficial for a lot of people. A lot of those things that people have to follow are not the best things in the world. This video is going to jump around a little bit, so I apologize, but I'm just trying to make my points. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, why does this matter? Why would Sharia law be a thing if the Taliban took over, which they already did? Well, because there were literal interviews with people, leaders of the Taliban, that said, hey, if the government of Afghanistan, the president says, hey, we'll follow Sharia law, we'll still go in. We're still going to run shit, but we'll leave you alone. We'll let you have a pass as long as you follow our system of beliefs. And that's where a big part of this issue starts, and where my logic really starts starting is the issue is currently that those two things are married together, especially right now in Afghanistan, is this idea that if the Taliban takes over, if the government as a whole accepts Sharia law, which is part of Islam, then everything's good to go. But yet, on the other side, we have this argument here in the United States where we believe in a separation of church and state. We believe that no religion should have any impact on how laws and different things in the U.S. government work, function, or govern. That's something that people fight for all the time. People argue about all the time. And it's something that I actually agree with. I agree that there should be a separation of church and state. I consider myself to be a spiritual person, a religious person, but I still see the value, the merit, and the importance of separating the two. But the people, not everybody again, but a lot of people who support this idea of separation of church and state are not going to see the problem of why Sharia law should not be part of the governmental system in the Middle East and Afghanistan. It doesn't make any sense, because you can't say that one thing's right and then one thing's wrong, or I guess one thing's wrong and one thing's right, when they're the exact same thing. Because again, Sharia law comes from the religion of Islam, and so therefore it is the exact opposite of separation of church and state. So, if you are someone who does not understand this comparison, I'm giving you the straight up logical viewpoint of it. If you still don't understand it, if you still defend the one argument is valid and one is not, then you're a fucking idiot. And you should stop watching this video now. You're wasting your time. You're wasting everybody's time. Go find a hole. Because, again, the logical comparison is undeniable. Because they're not willing to allow Afghanistan to not be ruled by Sharia law, aka attached to Islam, aka the exact opposite of separation of church and state. So right there, just on that basis, the idea that anyone can support the Taliban or the Afghanistan government allowing Sharia law to rule is fucking ridiculous, because people fight for the exact opposite here in the United States. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty logical. Again, if you don't agree with it, go crawl into a hole. You literally have no merit with anything you say. If you said it before, now you understand. Thank you. I appreciate you understanding, because it's literally just undeniable fucking logic. So, we move from there to why this is a fucking issue past just the whole separation of, church and state or religion and state or whatever. We move to this idea of what is inherently wrong. What is inherently wrong with Sharia law? What is inherently wrong with these outdated religious laws and beliefs? And you can sit here again and argue it and interpret it, but at the end of the day, I'm going to take it for what's written. And I'm going to take it for what is actually, what is written down and what's real. And if you want to play the interpretation or some people don't follow, no. If it's a law, it's going to be followed. It's written down as such. So again, yeah, sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up. You're wrong. It's the law. It's not called Sharia suggestions. It's called Sharia law. Or Sharia law. I can't pronounce the fucking word. The point is, there are additional issues. If you look currently over the past 24 to 72 hours, and this video is, look at the fucking date that I uploaded it, because it'll probably be even worse sooner than later. There are already great examples of why this law is absolute fucking craziness and absolute fucking bullshit. You see reporters, interpreters, who went from dressing maybe with a hijab and regular clothes or just regular clothes, and now they're fully clothed. Hijab, the full 9 yards, their feet are covered, everything. Why? Sharia law. You see people who are interpreters who obviously spoke English. They can't speak English right now because it's not really allowed. And again, you can argue that, but this is literally coming from a source, multiple sources of interpreters who have reached out to different Americans that fought in the war over there who have said, I can't speak English right now on the phone because if I do, the people next door are going to fucking shoot me. So again, this isn't just me pulling this out of my ass. This is literally happening right now. This is literally a conversation that happened yesterday and today. So please understand that. And again, you have to understand that's just like the tip of the iceberg, just the tip of it. You need to understand that there are more things in here within Sharia law, within this ideal that the government's going to try and put into place or the Taliban's going to put into place that is wrong and inherently shitty. That inherently is not something that we can support as good, decent, like humanistic, humanitarian-minded people. So what are some of these things? Some of these things, not only is it women covering up, but unfortunately a lot of situations, and I do mean a lot, I'm not saying it all, but in a lot of situations, a man is significantly more important and has more rights than women do. I really don't care what you believe. That's the way that it is. Not only that, but there are other rules, such as women can't leave the house unless their husband lets them. Women can't go to school. Women can't read. Women can't vote. Women can't own certain things. And again, there are some places where it's not practiced 100%, but there are some places that it is. In addition to, there's other rules, such as men, you can beat your wives. And you can say, well, that's not true. But unfortunately, in one of the last speeches given by Muhammad, I think it was his farewell speech, he specifically said, men, if you're going to beat your wives, don't leave marks or bruises where other people, so that other people can see them. Something along those lines. I'm not quoting, so forgive me if I'm a little bit off. But that's what he said. Men are allowed to, physically abuse their wives. If they think their wife's cheating on them, then they can possibly be murdered or sent to jail or beaten. And that's okay. We're also, within that law, people that decide, I don't want to follow these rules. I don't want to believe in Islam. I don't believe in Islam. I don't believe in Muhammad. I don't want to be part of the Islamic religion anymore. Guess what? Those people can be killed. Those people can be thrown in jail for as long as they're thrown in jail for. That's the way it works. So I want you to understand and imagine again this whole separation of church and state in the United States or any other country. If any country said, I'm going to use an example. Let's say Spain. Let's say that 80% of people who live in Spain are people that live there full time. Let's say that 80% of them are Catholic. Let's just say that. I don't fucking know if that's the number, but let's just say that's the number. 20% aren't Catholic. Maybe they believe something else. Maybe they just don't. Maybe they were brought up that way and they don't want to follow it. Maybe like my friend who was brought up following Judaism, who was Jewish, he just didn't really want to follow it anymore. It wasn't his thing. He said he didn't really believe in it, but he still did some of it. Well, if he lived there and said that about Islam, he could go to jail. He could be killed. And that's okay. I want you to realize that a lot of those people that are probably trying to get on those planes, a lot of people that are freaking out, don't want to be told that you have to follow a religion. Because that's not okay. That's not fair. That's not right. And if they decide to follow it and then change their mind or say something bad about it, guess what again? They can be murdered. They can be thrown in jail. The end. That's not right. Again, that's not okay. If you think it is, you're the fucking problem. Now we go from there. Now, in other religions, people believe that being, gay or homosexual or whatever you want to classify, whatever you fall into, is wrong. It's part of Christianity. I'm pretty sure it's part of Catholicism. It's part of most religions. They believe it's not okay. Some people might even say you're going to go to hell because of it. But at the end of the day, they don't say, hey, you deserve to go to jail. You deserve to die because of what you believe, because you're attracted to someone of the same sex as you. But unfortunately, in Sharia law again, they do believe that. I want you to really ask yourself, does it make sense to support a religion or a group of people that believe that people that are gay or part of any LGBTQT plus community deserve to die or deserve to be thrown in prison because of their beliefs, because of what they're attracted to, because of what they like? No, it's not. It's not okay, and it's not good. Do people... Oh, sorry, like this is where like it's just so much ridiculousness. It's so much craziness. And this is the reason why so many people over there, not all, but a lot, didn't want the US to pull out because they knew it was going to happen. They knew the Taliban was going to take over. They knew that they were going to go back to the way of living that they had lived before. And it wasn't a positive one. You have to understand that during the conflict in the Middle East, a lot of people that lived over there fought along U.S. soldiers because they didn't want to live in the system that they were living in. They wanted to be more free. A lot of friends, family, mothers, brothers, sisters, whatever, of the people who lived over there died fighting for freedom, for their family, to not live under this law, to not live in a regressive, shitty, and oppressive society. And that is why they're freaking out, because they don't want to be in the situation again. But guess what? They are. So the other issue that I have within this is, it's kind of like a little tangent, but I'm going to say it anyways, is that there are people right now that don't understand that these are some of the beliefs. And there's more. There's significantly more. I kind of highlighted the really negative ones. There's more that are probably equally negative. There's a lot more than what I've even said, like I already just said. So go Google it. Go look it up. See what's really part of Sharia law. Go see for yourself. And again, these aren't suggestions. These are laws. This is what the Taliban wants to govern Afghanistan. It's what they said, that if the government accepts it, runs it, they're okay with it. But guess what? Again, here in America, people all the time fight for separation of church and state. People aren't told what they have to believe or go to jail or die. People aren't told, women aren't told that your testimony's not worth as much as a man's. You don't deserve to have as many rights as a man. Your husband pretty much runs your shit. People that are gay or part of the LBGQT plus community aren't thrown in prison or murdered. So if you are a logical person, if you are a humane person, if you care about people, if you're a man or a woman or part of the LBGQT plus community, which is, I think I've said everybody now. Look at that. I've said every single person on the planet. If you're a decent person and you fall in one of those groups, there's no way that you can support Sharia law. There's no way you can support people that believe in it, because they don't believe in treating people fairly, with respect, with love, and decency. I'm not saying that they deserve to die. I'm not saying that they're going to go to hell. I'm not saying that they're complete and absolute pieces of shit. But what I am saying is that they're wrong. And they're not being good people. So they can't be supported. So for anyone saying it's not that bad over there, it's okay, Sharia law's okay, it is what it is, you're wrong. This is the point in time where I'm going to tell you either you understand and you agree, and great, thank you for joining the side of logical, giving a shit human beings that are decent people, or you don't, and fuck you. Again, go crawl into a hole, because it's where you deserve to be. At the end of the day, the other thing that really bothers me, and I didn't say it in my first video, but I'm going to say it in this one, is there are people right now that are still fighting over masks, that are fighting over vaccines, that are fighting over other dumb shit, when this is what's really important. When having the conversation over the craziness that's going on in the Middle East, in Afghanistan, people that are going to get fucked and fucked over by rules and laws and people that don't fucking care, that aren't good people, and we're arguing about stupid shit. So please, for the love of God, realize that if you're a decent human, if you're a woman, you're part of the LBGQT plus community, if you fall into those categories, which again is everybody, and you're logical and you're a good person, realize that there is more important shit than COVID right now. As crazy as that may sound. There's more important stuff than mask mandates or vaccines. For 5.2 seconds, stop giving a fuck about yourself and give a fuck about someone else who's going to be going through a lot more shit, because they don't really give a fuck about wearing a mask right now. They don't really give a shit about a vaccine right now. They really don't fucking care about COVID right now. They care about not getting murdered, not getting raped, not being thrown in prison for any of the reasons that I already listed, because that's what's really going to happen. And it's going to happen real fucking soon. So please wake up. Please realize that it's real adult shit. And the more people that talk about it, the more people that say it's not okay, the more people that stand up and that give a shit, the faster change can actually happen. If this video is helpful to you, if it has enlightened you, if it has changed your perspective, if it has showed you what is really fucking going on, or just given you some more helpful information, please share it. Please watch the first video that I did, because again, it's going to be important, helpful shit. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about people that are going to be going through the fucking meat grinder right now. Because we decided, the president decided, whoever decided that, fuck them, good luck. So again, please share. Like I said, I always love to say please share, but these are the important videos right now. This is some important shit. This is the way that it is. And again, at the end of the day, if you disagree with me, you're just wrong. Sorry. So anyway, guys, again, hope you guys have a great night. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye.